It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to the travel and cruise industry news. On this, the 28th day of June, I'm Chillie Falls coming to you from Forest in Bedford County, Virginia. That's in central Virginia, right outside of Lynchburg. And a hot, muggy day today. It's going to be 91 here. Now, I realize, folks, that is nothing compared to what some of you guys are going through with heat all over the country, especially out in the west and northwest, and some of you up in Canada too. But still, 91, that's pretty hot for us. So anyway, that's what's going on here. Been a pretty busy morning this morning. Of course, oddly enough, the news items aren't all that much, but there were a couple things that happened over the weekend that we're going to talk about today. And we have to start off, folks, as much as I hate doing it with the weather. We had a hurricane that formed yesterday, kind of slipped up and grabbed me. I didn't even know about it till it was already between a category 1 and heading to be a category 2. But that's Hurricane Enrique, which was the first hurricane of the 2021 season. It was projected to weaken today, and as of the numbers I just got 2 minutes ago, it has showed the first signs of weakening. It's running along the parallel to the basically running parallel to Mexico. It's about 100 miles south of Cabo Corrientes, which is in western Jalisco. Expected to continue paralleling the coast as it was heading exactly toward Cabo San Lucas. Enrique is expected to weaken on Monday and continue weakening through early this week. However, Enrique is still expected to bring 6 to 12 inches of rain through tomorrow, and in some places as much as 18 inches over Colima and coastal sections of Michoacan, Jalisco, and Guerrero states, so said the National Hurricane Center. At the latest advisory, and this was just moments ago, the speed has dropped to 85 miles an hour. The pressure has risen to 977 millibars. It's moving north-northwest at 6 miles an hour. Now, in the Atlantic, we're watching two storms, and one has just been ramped up and is now 4. It was given a number as opposed to just being a tropical depression. This is Tropical Depression 4 as of 11 o'clock, which was 2 minutes ago. Winds are 35 miles an hour. The central pressure is 1,013 millibars. It's moving west-northwest at 16 miles an hour. So it's moving along at a pretty good clip. It's going to bring some rain along the coastal areas. Let's see if I can pull that part up. Heavy rainfall is possible from coastal southern South Carolina and Georgia, inland across the Piedmont of Georgia into northeast Alabama. Isolated flooding is possible across urban areas of the southern South Carolina and Georgia coast. Tropical force winds are expected across portions of South Carolina coast this afternoon and tonight, where tropical storm warning is in effect. So that's the one. That's 4. It's not likely to gather enough strength to actually become a named storm, but anyway, that's the next step, is the number. And then if you notice down there, about halfway between Africa and South America is a tropical disturbance, which of course it as a disturbance is not named yet. It's a broad area of low pressure associated with a tropical wave, producing a small cluster of showers and thunderstorms over the central tropical Atlantic. Some slow development is possible through the end of the week, and they're saying the formation of strengthening is at 20% over the next 48 hours and 40% over the next 5 days. So that's one that clearly we got to keep an eye on. So that's the weather. And again, you guys that are suffering through this hot weather, man, I feel for you. 90 is more than hot enough for me. And some of you are up there in the 110 range and stuff like that. That's unbelievable. So now a couple of things. Those of you that saw our show yesterday, the Cruz Amigos yesterday, this is going to be a duplicate for y'all because we actually broke 2 news stories on Cruz Amigos yesterday. Did you need to get or renew a passport? If that's the case, you're in trouble. The U.S. State Department just issued an update, and passport applications are now taking much longer than normal to process. Mail delays are impacting processing times for passport applications. Routine service can take up to 18 weeks from the day when an application is submitted. This 18-week time frame includes up to 6 weeks for mailing time and 12 weeks for processing. The 18-week time frame is up from the normal processing time of 10 to 12 weeks. The State Department has some politicians. I mean, they have some professional bureaucrats too, but there's some politicians there. And they're blaming the post office, who's run by a politician. And you know what I think of politicians. So 6 weeks for an application for to get a passport. I could walk from here to the passport office in DC in 6 weeks and walk in and get my passport and walk out. I'm just saying don't buy that. And of course, our friends over at Bahamas Paradise, this is the one we broke yesterday. They postponed their test cruise and restart date after one of their crew members tested positive. After confirming a crew member tested positive on board, Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line immediately implemented the CDC COVID protocols. This included identifying and testing all close contacts of the crew member. Any crew member who tested positive, as per CDC technical instructions for mitigation of COVID among cruise ship crew, was placed in quarantine if asymptomatic and isolation if symptomatic. All CDC guidelines for the ending of quarantine and isolation will be followed out of an abundance of caution and to ensure the safety and wellness of all guests and crews. Bahamas Paradise has postponed its simulated sailing from July 8th. Remember, they have to do that before they can be approved to sail. Instead of sailing on July the 8th, is going to be, it's postponed to July the 8th from June 28th. If I can get my tongue in front of my IT so I can see what I'm saying. And they delayed the commercial restart from July the 2nd, it was originally scheduled for, will now be July the 10th. So that's happening with our friends at Bahamas Paradise. And the other story that had absolutely no traction this weekend, and quite frankly, folks, I missed out on it totally until this morning. You know, I talked about the things that's going on over there on the other side of the pond this weekend to kind of balance our good news on the cruise industry here with the Celebrity Edge sailing. But Barcelona had some major news with MSC. The port of Barcelona reopened this weekend for international cruises when MSC Grandiosa became the first ship to embark with Spanish guests and holidaymakers from other Schengen countries. The 7-night cruise calls at the Italian ports of Genoa, Civitavecchia for Rome, Naples, and Palermo, plus Valletta, Malta. Barcelona is an integral part of our year-round itineraries in the Mediterranean, and to see it reopened for guests from Spain and other countries in Europe is extremely gratifying, so says CEO Giovanni Honorato. According to the press release, the Port of Barcelona is of strategic importance to MSC Cruises' position as the market leader in Europe, and earlier this month, the company received the official approval to operate and manage an exclusive 11,670 square meter cruise terminal, which is due for completion in 2024. Sorry about that. I had a little cough there, folks. And one other thing today, before I go over to the chat room, there'll be no live show tomorrow. I have a doctor's appointment at 11:10. I can't very well do an 11 o'clock live show and be at a doctor's appointment at 11:10. Ain't gonna work. Anything major that happens, should there be any news from the hurricane or any major news comes across the line before like 10 o'clock in the morning, I'll have it up as a video or as a video short. Just keep your eyes peeled for that, guys, if you want to keep up with the latest in travel and cruise industry news. Sorry about that. I do have, like I said, when I started doing this daily as opposed to scattered days, that there would be days when this would creep up on me, and this one crept up on me. So I'll have another one, and I think it's about 2 weeks from now, another that's an 11 o'clock-ish appointment too. So no live show tomorrow. So got that out of the way. And if you've noticed that the crawler down here at the bottom of the screen, it says that also. So, all right, and there was all kinds of chat going on in the control room. In the chat room before I got started today. Katie's here up there in Martha's Vineyard. She's up there stomping around where the Kennedys used to go all the time. I don't know if there's any Kennedys in Martha's Vineyard now or not, Katie. Tom Henry says hi to Katie and to me. And he says, I had to remember the time difference today. It's 9:45 here. Was going to take a quick nap. Then remember, it's Chillie time. Awesome. Tom is up in Wisconsin. Hello from Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Booked a hot air balloon ride for this evening, but chances are it'll be canceled due to bad weather or wind, but I have 5 days to get it done. Tom, you realize you need to film something, do clips, selfies, something, and send me that I can use on the show. When you get a hot air person like Tom, I'm not saying that. Yeah, I am. A hot air person like Tom and a hot air balloon, man, anything can happen in Wisconsin. Well, yeah, I mean, you want them to blow all the way over there to on top of John in Minnesota. That's right next door, I think. Anyway, Tom, I have never done a hot air balloon, but they fly over the farm all the time. I've had a couple of them come down in my field right behind the house. And I always found it interesting that when they go up in a hot air balloon, there's a chase vehicle that follows. They never know. They can't necessarily control where that sucker comes down. So there's a chase vehicle that follows along on the roads and just seems to see them up in the air. So when they see them coming down someplace, the chase vehicle get them, and they take the thing down, and everybody gets in the car and drives back to the hot balloon port, or whatever you call a hot balloon place. Anyway, the other thing, Tom, of course, it's hot up there where you are right now. But if it was normal weather, it gets cold as hell up in those balloons. I can tell you that. Katie's glad there's no hurricanes on the East Coast. Yeah, me too, Katie. Talking about being shocked was yesterday. As a matter of fact, John and I had already started the live stream, not live, but started my stream. And he and I were comparing notes on what we were doing, and I was talking to him about his surgery, which is tomorrow, and other things that we do before the show actually gets started. And Hurricane Enrique popped up. I didn't even know about it. You guys know that I watch the weather all the time, but boy, it caught me with my pants down. Gretchen's here. Hey, Gretchen. Amy's with us. Hey, Amy. Tom says wife has family in Beloit, Wisconsin. Beloit? I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Wisconsin. Gretchen's never been to Martha's Vineyard. I'll have to remedy that. Hi to Tom, Caney, and Amy. I've been to Martha's Vineyard. I've never stayed there, but I've taken the ferry across for the day a couple times and scurried around, saw things. It's like a lot of. I love New England. Just get me past New York City. Well, I don't care for all the big cities up there either, but give me anywhere in New England. I'm happy, especially if there's some place in New England that has lobster rolls. We should plan a Chillie's gang trip up there. That'd be cool. It's beautiful in the mid-70s today. Wow. Emily, wake up. It's Chillie time. Yeah, Emily's probably still asleep. Katie's passport's good till 2025. I'm not sure how long. I need to check mine, come to think about it. Here I've been bitching about the passport taking so long. I better check. So Tom says, I find that strange. Mail is not that bad. They are setting up for something. I thought that was weird too. I mean, I still have some snail mail that, admittedly, 90% of what I do online anymore. But I still have a couple places, couple bills that I can't pay online, that are people in the dark ages like me, and I have to pay by snail mail, and I know it doesn't take any 5 weeks for them to get my bills because I get another bill on that in that much time. Nikki's with us down there in Jacksonville. Gretchen says, I'm going on a New England cruise next September. Yeah, there's no you can't take a cruise ship into Martha's Vineyard. There's no dock like that. It'll take the ferry, and that's about it. Let's see. I'm in a little south of you. Let's see. I'm trying to pack a little. Can't be much hotter in Orlando area than this here. 90 today. Yeah, that's true. There's Jason's with us up there in Pittsburgh. Not afraid of the hot air balloon now, Tom Henry. Yeah, he's getting on a hot air balloon today. I think we got to have some proof of that, Jason. You and I definitely have to have some proof because I'm not going to believe Tom just saying that he got on a hot air balloon. I got to see it. That's just like him dancing with the penguins. I had to see it to believe it. Is that penguins? Yeah, penguins. Oh, penguins and puffins. I don't know why I get this in my mind. I know the difference in my mind. If I say penguin, I meant puffin. If I say puffin, I mean penguin. But anyway, let's see what else we got here. When we lived in Pittsburgh, a balloon made an unexpected landing a block from us. Yeah, I used to remember some of the hot air balloons up in Pittsburgh and stuff, and they get down, over some of those rivers and the updrafts along the cliffs. Like, I lived up in Munhall Gardens, right up above Kennywood, and the updraft from the along the cliffs along that side of the river, man, it would just wreak havoc with the hot air balloons. Gretchen's passport 2027 beat you there, Katie. I'll have to pull mine out and look. I'm not even sure where I have it because I haven't used it for a while. Anyway, it's probably here in a desk someplace. Tom Henry says he's not afraid at all. I'll definitely be posting pictures of the trip if I get up. I have 6 days to try if today is not a go. Got to rush to the Chase van before the farmer with the pitchfork comes to get us all. Yeah, the farmer with the pitchfork that they got painted the picture of. Didn't one crash the other day in New Mexico? It got into electricity wire, power line. That's Tom said power lines. It might help. I look at the chat when I have a senior moment with my brain. Gretchen says, I just got a Weather Channel update. Tropical depression forms on southeast coast. Yeah, that's the one, Gretchen, that's 4. It's currently 4, the number, F-O-U-R, 4. So, and that's right off the coast of South Carolina. Yeah, here we go. Again, I'm not even, I should know that you guys are taking care of that. Tom Henry says, must be the number 4 Chillie had on the map earlier. Yes. Forget the lobster roll, get the lobster. Did you see my meal from last night, guys? I know Chillie did. Yes, I did. And that looked wonderful. And by the way, guys, I like lobster rolls almost as much as I like lobster. And I mean, I like lobster. Probably that's still my favorite meal, but I think it's just because lobster rolls are so available once you get up there that once I get past Connecticut, well, sometimes even up into Connecticut, you can find them. But definitely by the time I get to Providence, Rhode Island, there's a stand on the road that sells lobster rolls that I've already stopped and had one. So Dorsey Parks is with us. She says, hi to all. Hi, Dorsey. Good to have you. Nikki's just got her passport renewed, good until 2031. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I bet mine is due. I better look. Isn't Martha's Vineyard where the great white shark lives? Tom, shark was caught in Florida. Tom is talking about Jaws. That wasn't Martha's Vineyard, was it? Where they filmed Jaws? I don't remember. It was someplace in New England. Nikki says, I love Kennywood. Al, I was less than a minute away from Kennywood for how long was I up there? 15 years or so. Tom Henry, I had my passport renewed between January 2020 cruise and February 29th, 2020 cruise, and made the return in time back then. Gretchen Slass, yes. Tom says those twin lobster tails was priced at $65. A deal compared to the steak and eggs priced at $110. Yikes. There was caviar in the steak and eggs. Wow, $110 steak and eggs. That must have been a hell of it. That must have been a cow and eggs. Amityville. Gretchen says Amityville. Filmed on Martha's Vineyard. Tom was right. And yes, Gretchen, I knew Amityville was the screen name of the town, but I was trying to remember where it was filmed. It was filmed on Martha's Vineyard. Okay. That part I didn't remember. So anyway, that's going to wrap me up for today. Again, folks, no live show tomorrow. I'm going to be playing with a doctor. And, but if anything major happens news-wise, I will post it. So just keep checking on my channel for videos, new videos or video shorts. And I'll put something in the title that clearly you'll know that it's news from in the morning. So, yeah, this is, by the way, Katie says, best of luck. Yeah, Katie, this is nothing major. This is for my annual checkup. I need an annual checkup with all the bazillion hours I have with doctors the last 6 months. Are they crazy? But yeah, this is for an annual checkup. They want to check my blood pressure. I mean, like my home health care people do that, 3 times a week or something. I mean, it's ridiculous. But I say I got to do it. So anyway, I'm going to play doctor, to play patient, and bitch. Excuse my French, folks. But yeah, I'll be bitching tomorrow for making me go to a doctor's appointment for absolutely no real reason. So Anyway, that's it for today, guys. I'll be back on Wednesday, same time, same place, 11 o'clock. See everybody. And to keep an eye out tomorrow, guys, if something happens, I'll get it up before I go to leave to go to the doctor. So for now, this is the old fat travel guy. Later, y'all.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.